This week's episode of The Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Squarespace,
GoDaddy.com,
and Netflix.
Rad guys living normal lives are recruited by a team of super spies. Their missions classified, but you may surmise they battle evil by quoting movie lines. Game and TV guides are used like knives to quell the rise of demon samurais. We know it sounds contrived, but we tell no lies. It's as the name implies, the Totally Rad Show.
Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad. Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 130. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Totally Rad Show's weekly dose of all things rad. We go to the local park, set up a barbecue pit, and barbecue up some totally rad hamburgers.
One last time for the summer, I guess.
Oh, amazing,
Yeah, it's
amazing.
pretty
Who sent this in?
Jake Matthews.
Matthews,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think he did another animated background for us.
Pretty sure.
We love the animated ones, man.
The animated
they're the
ones
best.
just pop. You know what? You can almost smell the flesh of the
You
meat.
can. You know, in honor of celebrating, like a barbecue is a celebration, we have a little something to celebrate.
We do.
Am I pregnant?
Mike's
Happy
birthday!
birthday, Mike!
And we,
Saturday, right?
Yeah, Mike is
Tomorrow.
Mike's
Tomorrow for us.
birthday is
Tomorrow for us.
4 days ago.
Yes.
But you know, Mike is the only person that I know that talks about wanting a DeLorean and is actually
Yes.
literally considering buying a DeLorean.
Which is crazy.
Well, when the three of us heard that,
Yes.
we decided, well, we can't get you a DeLorean, but
We can't actually get a
I think
DeLorean.
you just gave away what
because
it is.
they're too expensive.
we can get you something better than a DeLorean. Because,
Well-
Mike, where you're going,
You don't need roads. What did we get him? Pull it out.
What?
Awesome.
If you have a
Official
DeLorean,
flux capacitor.
you need a flux capacitor.
So, Mike,
you got it.
Yeah.
happy
yes.
birthday, bro.
Pull. No, it's my fist. Down more. No, pull down more and then
We
up.
should have rehearsed this.
I hope there's no green in there.
Well, there's
cool
a
is
lot
that,
of
right?
there's a lot of probably nuclear material, so clearly
It's
you're gonna need to
legit,
watch
dude.
out.
That's
This
the
is
real.
hemp.
Doc Brown autographed it. I don't
It's
know.
on and everything?
I don't know.
I don't know. We just looked at it. The
But it is-
packaging
it's-
looks cool.
It looks exactly like it, dude, with the.
Yeah. Shield eyes from light. So happy
So have
birthday,
fun time
Mikey.
traveling.
And it's gonna go towards the camera and into the hands of a waiting. Oh, and the camera.
And now it got awkward.
And
It
now it's
just
gonna
got
be.
weird.
It's weird. Dan made it weird. So happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday, Mike. So,
And the best part is Mike's gift got here before mine.
oh, you wanted your gift?
No. Let's get into the show.
Actually,
What?
Why don't we just give you your gift?
Oh, it came? No, it didn't
We
come.
got to cut, and I got to go get it.
What?
Yeah, it's in my car.
here we go. So Alex's gift, which we teased way long ago.
It's been a long time
It had to be
coming.
made. Had to be constructed.
We were sort of at the mercy
So
of.
it was very interesting that you said it had to be constructed because made is different than constructed.
Well, we're just
Well,
trying to be.
we're
Yeah.
very catty
in your
individuals.
face.
Here we go.
Okay, you gonna do that? I don't know what this.
Wait, shh.
Nothing's showing me.
All right.
Don't look at that.
Oh, I'm not looking at paper. Okay.
This is from the three of us, Alex. The three of us
Oh, I
to
paid
you.
for it too? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mike, Jeff, and I.
Okay.
Yeah. This is there's a lot of planning that went involved in this.
A lot of
Brainstorming.
Some sneakiness that we could tell you about.
Okay, so you're basically saying I must feign excitement.
We're still here. Yeah, very careful.
I feel this is like the front of frame.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we want you to look at the back. Don't look at the front when you open.
You ready?
Yes.
Are you ready for the display?
Wait. Let's
Ah!
pick it up off the ground.
Oh, it's got the frame on it.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Here we go. Wait,
Well, here, do this.
wanna display it to the camera
do it to the
first.
camera first.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, the camera sees it first, then we show Alex.
Okay, wait. There's a lot of.
Oh my God.
Are you ready, Alex?
Hold on.
Look at the camera.
And then turn it around and say,
Amazing!
Is this what you thought it was gonna be?
Yes, it is.
Really?
When we started opening, I was like, I wonder if they got me like a cheesy portrait of myself.
It's on
hanging in my
velvet.
office.
It's on velvet.
Oh,
It's a velvet painting.
my God. That is This is so going in my office. You don't even know. Oh my God. And to be fair,
Dude, custom made of you.
dude.
Came from Tijuana, directly
Amazing.
from Tijuana.
I love the ascot. I love the ascot. I don't think you're on camera, right?
Oh.
Is that what I was hearing? Yeah. Oh my God, dudes.
Do you remember taking
Thank
that?
you so much.
Do you remember posing for that?
No.
Remember when we were doing some pictures and we were like, just pretend like you're riding on a horse or you're really dignified.
No, remember you used to be dignified, be dignified. We were all joking around, you're doing this stuff you always do, and then we
Yeah.
go, hey, do one dignified. And then that was...
Amazing.
Look at how
Dude,
badass the frame
Wow.
is, too.
This is literally, this is amazing.
that could go in the Magic Castle.
Yes.
It's gotta be him associate.
Oh. Hold on.
Wow.
Well, I'll take these off later because there's a lot of.
Dude, it's on velvet, bro.
Now I see why it took some time.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Happy birthday. Happy
Thank
birthday,
you so
both
much.
of you
Happy birthday,
guys.
guys.
Thank you so much, and happy birthday, Mikey. I cannot wait to put that in my office.
All right, sorry!
All right, this week in movies, we're talking about two flicks. One
we were talking about 9.
One 9, the other, if you make the mistake and you want to eliminate it, Whiteout.
Yeah, 1-9 and 2-12 is really what we're doing.
So we'll start with 9, which is the bigger release for the capping off the summer. It is an animated film from Shane Acker, who was a Weta animator and was nominated for an Academy Award for the short film 9, of which this flick is based of. And it's basically a post-apocalyptic world where only the things we've made have survived. And it follows this woven sack-like
Automaton kind of character.
dude
Yeah.
who
several of them.
with a 9 painted on his back as he explores this world and happens upon other sack creatures with numbers painted on their backs as well, and find out what the hay has gone on. It's produced by Timur Bekmambetov of the Night Watch trilogy and Tim Burton, but as I said, directed by Shane Acker, set in that kind of world that all those guys like to work in. Jeff, what did you think of 9?
I
said 3D animated, right?
You said animated, but it's
Yeah.
computer CG
Right. Yeah.
animated.
Yeah.
I was disappointed by it.
Tell me more.
I
Exacerbate.
I really like. Make it
No,
worse.
please don't do that on camera.
I really like the design. I'm a sucker for that clockwork tech look, and there's lots of really great clockwork fiddly bits that that
Steampunk-esque.
make up the world and make up the items that they use. But the story really doesn't make sense to me. The bad guys are bad because they look bad, basically. It's like the evil-looking stuff is evil and the charming, good-looking stuff is good, and there's really no reasoning behind it. When we get to the end and they reveal what the sort of premise was, I think that's a really interesting concept, but the movie doesn't present it in a way that makes me curious as to what that concept is throughout. I also found, although the animation is really great, I found the CG itself to be pretty unimpressive. I think they were going for a kind of painted background look, but ultimately, background specifically I'm talking about, ultimately it looked a little blurry and it didn't come off as being very impressive. And the sack woven look sometimes didn't look very good at all. It looked like a texture placed, a very flat looking thing to me, and I was disappointed by that.
I didn't see it that way.
Your sack wasn't
Alice, what did you think?
specifically
Unsacked.
textured. Yeah, I had the exact opposite opinion of you. I really loved this movie. I thought it was great. I thought it was inventive and soulful and artful and unique, and I felt like it was. We so often get that movie, that book, that short story about the machines that humans build, becoming aware and trying to destroy the humans. And inevitably in those movies, it is the spirit of the human being. It's the love of humanity that is always able to save the human race from the machines. And in this movie, it's taking that concept and showing you that that can even happen after all the humans are destroyed off the face of the earth. And for me, that was so unique. It's a story we've seen, and I disagree. I love the animation. I thought it was amazing, and some of the stuff that they came up with, it was funny. It was dark. It was adult.
That's all true. Yeah.
It's PG-13.
It's PG-13, but I would not say this is really a film for children. I mean, there's some really hardcore things that happen. Yeah. So I loved it. It was hook, line, and sinker for me. Yeah.
Interesting. I found myself very disengaged in the story. I didn't really care about what was happening. And I did like the short film, and the short film was very basically the same story, but just much more elegant and suggestive. And the movie just sort of explained all the things that you might infer from the 7-minute short. And the explanations I thought were just, I've been there before, and it didn't bring anything new to that. But I thought the action sequences were spectacular.
I agree with that.
Very, the kind of action sequence that you see in 3D animations. So, very, not grounded in the world of what has to be possible. So the way the camera and the people move is all very thrilling. But
ultimately, you didn't
ultimately,
like
I just didn't. I couldn't grab on anything. But I did like the look. I didn't have the problem with that you had with the animation.
No,
so,
I was very clear to be specific about the animation. It's the actual animation.
Yeah.
Very high quality, but the look of the movie.
I mean, I didn't have the problem with the look, the sack wovenness. Anyway, moving on. Whiteout. Is a graphic novel I read in either college or high school and loved. I'm sure you did as well.
Been a while.
I don't know.
Been a long time.
And I've actually read it a few times. And this is a movie that has been in the works for a long time. Remember when Reese Witherspoon was hot? She was supposed to be the lead.
Interesting.
And
comic book was by Greg Rucka.
Greg Rucka, Steve Lieber.
Yeah.
How else do people know Greg Rucka?
Oh, he's done a lot of work, specifically Gotham Knights, which is a great detective book, and lots of other stuff.
So, Whiteout stars...
Gotham Central.
Right,
Sorry.
okay. Whiteout stars, now, not Reese Witherspoon, but Kate Beckinsale as a cop, essentially, in the Antarctic.
She's a cop.
In the
Crazy.
coldest, most isolated place in the world, where that...
I think that's the text at the beginning.
Yeah, we know that because
it's
that's
also in the comic too. It opens that way. That has encountered its first ever murder, it's directed by Dominic Senna, who did what I thought was really ahead of its time. First of all, it came from music videos and commercials. Him and Michael Bay were like head to head back in the day. He did all the Rhythm Nation, huge Janet Jackson music videos, and then did California. If you guys remember that, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, with a
David
K.
Duchovny, California with a K.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then went on to make what I thought were really lackluster Bruckheimer action films with Gone in 60 Seconds and Swordfish. Although the opening sequence in that movie is one of the best. It's famous for having a great opening sequence.
I believe that was the first Halle Berry boob exposure.
Yeah.
Then a lot.
No, Monsters Ball.
That was after
Swordfish.
Okay, interesting. So anyway.
That's why I said
details.
it was the first and then a lot more.
I gather this may all be actually more interesting than what we might have to say about Whiteout, but we'll see if that's true.
You presume much, sir.
I do.
Yes.
Well, prove me wrong after Alex tells me.
I prove you right. Yeah, this movie is crap. I mean, pretty crap, utter crap. There's a lot of laughing at moments that shouldn't have been laughed at in the theater. Really bad, CG stuff. I love inconsistencies, she doesn't have gloves and puts her hand on metal and then has to get her fingers amputated, and yet, somebody walks outside with, because people are gonna watch it. And then somebody is outside with a scotch, walking down a pole, sliding his hand down a metal handrail, come on, watch your own movie. So it was just bad. I mean, it didn't matter. It was laughable. It started like a Cinemax movie. You know what I mean? Like it just had that like cheesy guitar riff.
And her walking around in her
and
underwear.
she just literally walks in. The first thing you see, she just walks into a room, takes off all her clothes, hops in the shower.
We hired Kate Beckinsale, and we're putting her in a parka the entire
Right.
movie.
Yeah,
we gotta rectify this.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, don't rectify it at the first 5 seconds of the movie. Like, let's figure out a reason why she has to do that in the middle. Anyway,
Jeff,
poop on stick.
am I being proven wrong?
Here's what's not good about this movie.
Aha, so I'm not.
The dialogue and the plot. Here's what is
No,
good about
there was
this
some
movie.
bad acting in
Here's
it,
what
too.
is good about this movie. The setting, which is instantly compelling, and I wanted to like this movie. I was rooting for it. And John Carpenter's The Thing is such an awesome film, and if you have not seen it, I urge you to Netflix it immediately. But they do such a good job in that movie of creating this great environment and then utilizing what makes it stifling and difficult to live in and adding to the terror. They try to do that here too, but ultimately we just get ourselves into a kind of slasher movie where they want you to be curious as to who the slasher is, but I was never curious.
Yeah.
I predicted everything. I mean, I kind of knew the story, but it's not good, and it's sad because it's a really cool idea.
I didn't read the comic, and I knew what was happening every moment.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel similarly to you in that this did have a lot of elements that should have worked.
Well, I agree with that too. I just didn't want to say that
it's
because
basically it has a space movie set in the snow. It has that the environment is dangerous, and there's several set. It has that as a ticking clock where they have to get out of this place before it's all night and and there's abandonment, and then there's the first ever murder in this place that is very interesting, that I remember being much more a bigger deal in the comic than it was just sort of thrown out and that was it.
Yeah, it was like, should we call this a murder or
And
just
then-
go to lunch? It was like,
and
I
had
guess
these-
we gotta call it a murder. I mean,
And
literally, that happened.
I think the moment in the comic where you go, this should be a movie that is featured in the movie with the ropes that are the way to get from one place to another in a whiteout where you can't see anything in front of you is this rope system.
Yeah.
And it was handled so clunkily. It was so hard to understand the geography of what was going on.
Plus, I almost
that it
feel
was
like
completely
you could also
ruined.
see. He says like within a whiteout you can't see 6 feet or 6 inches in front of your face. Yet she's on the rope. The bad guy's coming, and she sees him like 7 feet away. I thought the thing that would make it even more pressure was he's there, but you can't see him until he is on you. Yeah. That is the pressure that I would.
I think it also speaks to too. I think we've talked off camera about how like Uncharted was a great story for a video game, but like if it was directly turned into a movie, I don't know if that would work. If it was just that was a screenplay. In this comic, really everything in that comic was on the screen, but I think sometimes we read these things in other mediums and we go, man, this would be great as that. And really, it's great because it reminds you of that. But
Yeah.
if it actually was that,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be
Interesting
as.
point. That's an interesting
Yeah.
point.
Could be true.
All right, well, let's end on that then.
So who here's having fun at PAX, huh? We had a blast last year, just coming in, so it was great to put together a panel and talk a little bit about what we're doing.
So let's start off talking a little bit about the stuff that we've seen so far that we're stoked about, and maybe you guys can bring up some stuff too.
Yeah.
Or questions, whatever. Big games here, obviously. Left 4 Dead 2, they're showing a new level.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Mass Effect 2
is playable. Yeah.
Wow, does that look great, right?
It looks
and I didn't
so-
even like the first one.
Well, but I think the thing that you won, you picked the wrong class, which happens, and it's horrible with RPGs when you're like, I'll be the squishy class that can't shoot.
That's what I chose.
In Mass Effect, that's not really that good unless you've played through it a couple times. You're like, now I'll try it with the guy who sucks. But they also, it seems like they really updated the combat system. Which
Yeah,
I'm
it
very
looks
happy
much more
to because,
shootery
Yeah,
than it used to be.
I got to try out the sniper rifle and was very happy.
You know, we walked by that, and I just saw a glimpse of it out of the corner of my eye, and my heart skipped a beat. And all I needed to see
you have
was
a
a
heart condition.
glimpse. I do have that condition.
Joy Eisenhardt was in it.
Awesome.
Four people got that.
It looks amazing. I agree that it does seem more shootery. It doesn't seem different than the first one, but though I agree with you guys, it does seem more like a shooter. I can't quite.
You know, also the frame rate looks a lot more solid.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have a longer time to play with the systems, to code for the system. And that's why you see, you know, I remember we were at the co-op panel, they were talking about the Dreamcast, and we were talking about launch titles, and I remember playing Perfect Dark, and that game was not silky smooth.
Yeah, well.
I mean, you look at Mass Effect 2, and a game like Perfect Dark, and the difference is just being able to code better for the 360.
But this is what's awesome about Mass Effect 2. This is what I was thinking about, was that the combat looks awesome, it looks deep, and I feel like I'm going to care about what I'm doing so much more because the story is going to be cool. I never cared
hope
about
so.
Gears of War 2, you know what I mean? Like, it's fun, but I feel like this is going to be fun, and I'm going to care because it's a character that I'm role-playing as.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Heavy Rain is here. Yeah.
Oh, Heavy Rain is...
I think that's the best thing they could do is bring it to places like this because that's a game where I keep saying playing is believing because everybody thinks it's just a quick time event, but it's really not. It's much different. And I urge everybody to get over to the Sony booth and check it out because I think that it convinced us when we played it at E3. Also, Dan and I went and checked out Brink when you were playing Mass Effect 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which looks awesome, right, Dan? It's sort of what you want as far as free-running Mirror's Edge style.
Yeah, it's like a multiplayer combat game. I guess there's a single player as well, but you have Mirror's Edge like free running abilities in it. You can be a heavy tank guy who just shoots, you can't move, or you can be a light and run around. So imagine like
it seems like Mirror's Edge with good shooting.
Right.
Is it first person or third person?
First person. I wish it was third. That was the thing. I was watching. I really wish this was
Mirror's Edge
third
for
person.
me.
Or even Gears, like over the shoulder, so you see you doing the cool slidey and jumpy things.
Yeah.
But I'm still down. It's awesome. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. And those are the real big titles. But I think that we were all
Blown away.
Man, the 2 hours that we rehearsed that was totally worth it.
No, that was the thing
That was why I only
you
came
can't
in
talk
late.
about. Is that we were practicing that.
We got shanked, is what happened.
Yeah, I think there were two independent games that we happened upon that weren't really on our radars that we saw that I hope everybody has had a chance to check out. And one of them is called Shank.
Have you guys seen Shank? Go find Shank. It's by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles truck.
It is currently without a publisher.
Is it? I don't think so.
It's in that.
Yeah, it's in that area.
Independent area. Yeah.
It's currently without a publisher, and I hope they find one soon because it looks pretty
They're
will.
good.
demoing
It's
it
gorgeous.
on Dreamcast.
No, it's just a gag. That's a gag.
Oh, it was a gag?
Yeah, it's on the 360.
But you didn't know what platform it was going to be on. They didn't even know.
No, I know.
Right,
They're
but that's
hiding
the
it, but it was
joke.
definitely a
It's not going to be a
It was
Dreamcast
a really
game.
funny joke.
You've made the Dreamcast look amazing.
So this
I don't know why we can't get a publisher. We just keep developing Dreamcast games.
for viewers at home, shankgame.com, I think, or Google that, or something thereabouts.
Yeah, I
It
love
is
that. Very
gorgeous
visual. Google
looking.
Shank.
Honestly,
It's
You won't get any prison videos.
Google is shame. Yeah, maybe that's why they. It's a 2D action platformer. Very anime, hand-drawn look to it.
I'll tell you what the best description. It's a shame that this is the best description of it, but it really is. I don't know if anyone's played the demo for Wet, but it really is a 2D version of that.
Well, now
it
you
is
just made
done-
it one up.
It is no. But that doesn't do it justice. I mean, I actually kind of enjoyed the demo, but even if you think that game looks terrible, it does not do it justice because it's swords and shanks. And
Chainsaw?
Yeah, chainsaw and guns, running parkour, Prince of Persia style, grappling,
It actually-
and slow motion.
It looks a lot like the old style, the side scroller, the original Prince of Persia.
But with much cooler
Insane
look.
graphics
yeah.
and just fun and oh my
Style-wise, it looks like a cross between Rambo and Desperado.
You know what it reminded me of actually was Brutal Legend.
Yeah, it's got
A
that
little
same
bit
kind
over
of
the top.
Over the
cartoony
top,
look.
like the big square guys with
Yeah.
the chainsaws.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
it's fun.
And then the other game that I think might be
I'm more
my
excited.
my game of show so far is the new game from Ron Gilbert, which is Death Spank. And I
Amazing.
hope
Have you guys seen
have
Death
seen
Spank?
that.
Gotta find. That is also by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles truck. More so.
True.
Yeah.
So go see the turtles while you're there.
Wow, it looks so cool. It's almost like a cross between Fable 2 and what is the other
Paper
game?
Mario or something.
Yeah, it's got
It's like
this.
a pop-up book. It's like you're doing a fly-through of a pop-up book.
It's an art style that I've never seen anyone do before. It's completely original. You look at that game and you go, "That's Death Spank." There's no other game that looks like it, and it looks really deep, and it's got a great sense of humor. Ron Gilbert is involved, so you know it's going to have a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
And it's it looks like there's tons and tons of items to get. It's a role-playing gamey kind of running around, but you run around like in this pop-up book world, and the world itself kind of rotates under you. So there's almost a little bit of Mario Galaxy kind of look, too. Boy, it looked funny and fun.
Once in a while, in my old, now aged experience of WoW, I haven't done all the cool stuff that you guys tell me about. Old stuff. Once in a while, WoW combat was fun. It feels like this is just the fun parts of those aspects of WoW. From back in the day. It's a level 48, whatever I was.
A hunter.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that. You don't
we saw-
remember that?
No,
I
I
do.
just, yeah.
We saw that game, like, you get a chicken attack.
Yeah.
Where you, like,
Swarms of
unleash chickens against people, and they... You know,
Although, and they were saying that the way that you get all the chicken skills is you kill 100 chickens, and they start to realize, well, if you can kill so many of us, you must be our god, and so they start worshiping you. And they just follow you around and do whatever you want.
and it's all voice acted, and it's really, really funny. I mean, the exchanges that you get into with people,
Yeah.
and it's, you know, you can choose dialogue options, so there's a whole dialogue system. I'm more excited about that game than almost anything else.
Yeah, my one thing that I hope they do, which you and I talked about, was doing a 2-player co-op version.
Yeah, it doesn't
'Cause
sound
it
like
just
they
looks
are,
like
but-
it doesn't sound like they are, but it just looks like, because it's almost got that, like, there's a little bit of Gauntlet vibe to it.
Yeah, or Gauntlet or Diablo.
Or Diablo, yeah.
A little bit.
Very much Diablo.
Yeah.
All right, so let's...
Yeah, that's kind of our take on PAX so far with One Day
And
Down.
we still have not seen anything from the Star Wars Old Republic people. We're meeting them on Sunday, so just add in my love of Star Wars Old Republic to this panel.
Assume- you can
Just
write
assume
yourself
whatever you
what
hear
you think.
about the Old Republic, I am excited about.
Woo, that was good. Like many people, I believe the Beatles are the greatest band to ever walk the face of the earth. And since the advent of music rhythm games, I think it's been pretty well accepted that the holy grail of music licensing rights has been the Beatles. We talked about Guitar Hero 5 last week, so this week we're going to talk about the big release of Beatles Rock Band from Harmonix and EA. And these are the people that brought us the first 2 Rock Band games, and even before that, the very first Guitar Hero game before the split. And this is very much a Beatles experience. If you've been watching any kind of media, you've been seeing the onslaught of new Beatles advertising. It coincides with a re-release, remastered compendium of all the Beatles albums. And so it very much is about the experience, the story of the Beatles' career. And it takes away several things that we've grown accustomed to in the Rock Band franchise, like drum fills and a few other things. But it adds a more robust story mode. So now instead of starting out as a lowly band in a club and working your way to superstardom, you live the story of the Beatles. And there's a much bigger emphasis on visual representation of that. Dan, you are admittedly cool on the whole notion of rhythm music games. You've cooled a little bit, haven't you?
Not on music rhythm games, because Leap of the Angels 2 comes out, I'm there.
Right, but
yeah.
specifically plastic instrument games.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know, Conga Man 2 is pretty hot.
Conga,
Donkey Konga?
Donkey Konga. Actually, I love the arcade version of that, but I'm
You're
vamping
talking
right now.
you're talking about the Beatles Rock Band, which you played
Yeah.
this week.
I oh shit, I was supposed to play it.
It would have been helpful.
Yeah. I think I may say several conflicting things, but pull out what you like
You
and throw away
say
the
yes. You say no.
I think it's an incredibly well-made game, insanely well-made, in that it really, just in what you described, it really does the way to do a Beatles video game justice. In that you playing the story of their careers in the venues that they played in, the songs per that era, you know, fitting in like.
And I should also, I mean, real
yeah.
quick, before, I clearly overlooked the biggest addition, which is the vocal harmonies, which it adds multiple microphone inputs, so you can harmonize with the Beatles. So that's a big part of their music too.
I only own a guitar from Guitar Hero 3, so that's how I experienced the game.
Sorry to.
Let me, yeah. Oh, and the animation, the opening animation, which we saw at E3, and throughout the game at the end, it's done by this commercial animation house called PsyOp that have won awards for some of their latest commercials, and it is like a work of art.
It really
the
is.
opening
It's
animation
beautiful.
is a work of a short film that's phenomenal.
And the ending of the story mode continues that.
True, but the beginning is. This all, having said all this, it made me long for, and the problem is I love the first half of the Beatles' career. When they get into the weird psychedelic era, the more modern-y stuff, I lost interest, at least on the tracks they included in here. There are some tracks they didn't include that I can look forward to in DLC, hopefully. But while playing it, as great as it is, and as great as the Beatles is, and really, there is, because we never really talk about music on the show, there really is nothing in any other medium that you can compare. Like the Beatles are like as if George Lucas had made 40 Star Warses. You know what I mean? Like they have every single one of their things, songs, some people call them, were like insanely good. Like to this day, still sound current. You know, like insane. And it's amazing to be able to play those. But playing, playing throughout the whole story, I kind of was like getting that Guitar Hero fever, Rock Band fever of like, I was longing for playing Guitar Hero 5, which you guys got to play earlier in the week. Like it's like, I like this song, I want to play another song. But it was sort of all the same. So I kind of wish that it was DLC in a way. But that it was cheaper.
You mean that the Beatles pack was downloadable for your average Rock Band game.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's an insanely well-made disc that is almost worth the price because they really do juice it up. But just, what I enjoyed, I would have rathered more variety.
Okay. What did you think?
Interesting.
And maybe you should say right off how big of a Beatles fan you are as a
I'm a huge Beatles
person.
fan. I mean, that's the Beatles are the frickin' Beatles. Like, I mean, you can't not be a Beatles fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I grew up
they're like
listening
bigger
to
than the Beatles.
I know.
Oh, wait.
I grew up listening to the Beatles because my parents listened to the Beatles, and they have ticket stubs from when they went and saw the Beatles in concert, and it's like, it's crazy town. And
that's where they saw them?
Dan, yeah, in Crazy Town. It's in Compton. But Dan is right. I mean, the game itself is such an amazing experience. But I did find myself wanting for more Beatles songs, because a lot of the Beatles songs that I really loved were, it was like, oh yeah, and it's really tough. With Guitar Hero, with Rock Band, you always get that like, well, I don't know this band, so I don't really know this song. But it's rare for me that I'd be like, oh, I love this band. Oh, I've never heard that song, or oh, that's like one of their like songs. This is about, I'd say 75% of the songs in here are like, yeah, and there's a good 35% of the songs in there that are like, I just gotta get through this so I can get to the next song because I don't really care about this or know about this.
And maybe that sounds like a bad percentage when you put it that way for you.
Well, but the whole point that I was excited about was that it's going to be it's going to be that one where every song is a Beatles song.
It's not the greatest hits album.
Right. Exactly.
It is for someone though. Like that's the thing. I was thinking how many someone like
but they have so many
got
that
their
would
own
be on the
different
big.
favorites.
Anyway, either way, great game. Super short. You can kind of play through it in one sitting almost.
Well, but that's not really what these are about.
No, but short enough that, if I look back through that list, here's what I want out of this game now. I've played through the story mode and it was amazing. And I don't know if you guys looked at all the photos you unlocked and saw all
the movies.
Oh, amazing.
Really cool
the stuff that you unlock is go back and watch that stuff and read
even
this up.
The little
amazing.
bits that play right before your song starts of them like starting
the
in the
audio
studio,
stuff,
it's really cool.
There's a lot here to experience. My big question is, I go to a party and we're playing Rock Band 2. Is there a way for me to get these songs into Rock Band 2?
I was going to ask you that.
I don't know the answer to that.
Because
it's a good question.
I fear the answer is no. But I want it because I want to be able to play the Beatles songs when I'm playing Rock Band, because
Yeah.
that's what Rock Band I think has well over Guitar Hero right now, is that everything that you own is there. It's in one place. You can download. It's just there.
Yeah.
To having to switch out to be like, oh well, I want to play,
Paperback Writer now.
Yeah, or Help. Was Help not in the game? Okay. So like, I want to play, Paperback Writer, yeah, or Day Trip or something. Okay, well, let's stop this game, put the other game in, start a new band, get into the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it
You're
was
definitely, it's like, well, we're gonna have Beatles night, so we'll have Beatles night, and we'll stick with Beatles. Yeah.
Yeah, but then
it
there's
does-
not enough songs for that to be
It does
true.
feel a little bit, and I hate to even raise this issue, but it feels a little bit like a money grab in the sense of we're gonna give you everything.
So at least it wasn't the
Yeah.
full price of a game.
But we're gonna give you everything. We're just gonna meet it out
Yeah.
as we see fit.
Right.
You're gonna be able to download these full albums, but you're gonna have to pay.
But now, could you download those albums? Like, could you download the White Album into Rock Band 2?
I don't know the
minus
answer to
Beatles
that.
Rock
I don't
Band?
think so.
Because if the answer is yes, that could be cool.
I don't think so. I don't know the answer to that. We should find that out. But,
Yeah.
But I actually really agree with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Did you guys have any weird blurring, stuttering issue?
No.
Visually,
I played it.
Yeah,
The one
I
thing I will
did.
also say is I love Ringo. I don't know if he's technically the hardest drummer because I played through the game on expert on drums.
He's
and
notorious for being that.
there are some
Well, the
drum
whole
beats.
game
that-
is very. It's actually the games that I preferred in the other Guitar Heroes and Rock Bands. It's chord. It's not. There's not a lot of streaming.
Well,
Yeah.
that brings up
Yeah.
the
Which
point
I like.
A lot of
that
good
brings up the
rhythms.
point that I was gonna make, which is here's a game where we started with the music and made a game, rather than we're gonna make a game. What's the best music to fit
Right,
into this game?
right.
And I think that as we've gone on, as these games, these rhythm music games have matured, it's gotten to be a little bit less about the game and more about the music. But
I agree with that, man.
But when they started, when the first few Guitar Heroes came out, all the songs that were chosen, I mean, a lot of it was what could we get, sure,
Right.
but was like what is the coolest for the game?
Right.
And it's very telling that this game is called Beatles Rock Band and not Rock Band Beatles, because that's how this game is presented. It is a fantastic Beatles game. If you're a Beatles fan, it's a fantastic game.
It's a must get. It's a
But
must get.
if you're a Rock Band fan, it is not. For me, it's not the game that I want as a Rock Band fan.
Right.
It's
Now, if you
it's
like the
interesting-
Beatles and you like Rock Band, no brainer. They're both in the title.
I'm finding that I'm enjoying Guitar Hero 5 a little bit more because there's more to do. There's more different kinds of challenges. There's more different kinds of songs. I agree with you guys that this would have been a wonderful downloadable pack for Rock Band.
Yeah. That said, if it can get
But
if
let
it
me
can
just-
be moved over, there's a
Well,
lot
let me
of
say this:
good addition to Rock Band
the
2.
vocal stuff that they do is the first Rock Band game or Guitar Hero game where the really emphasis is on the vocals, and I think it's not a great guitar game. It's not the best drum game, but it's a fantastic vocal game. And I think a lot of the people that love the Beatles are people that don't fantasize about playing guitar along with the Beatles,
Right.
but they do fantasize about singing along with the Beatles, and that experience is really fun.
Yeah.
You know what else I think too? I was at GameStop where this dude who knew nothing about this stuff was asking about, should I get Guitar Hero or Rock Band? And the guy was helping him and he was trying to explain the difference between them, the employee, and I was like, there's
a million horror
Yeah.
stories about employees.
Right,
at these-
and then he says, well, or you could wait a couple weeks, because it was a couple weeks ago, Beatles Rock Band's coming out. And the guy was like, oh yeah, that's the one I want. And I was like, this could be the Wii.
Yeah.
Well, definitely.
Where
I mean,
it's going
definitely.
to bring people in. To
While I
the
was
baby
playing,
boomers. Right,
and while
right.
I was playing, I wanted my parents to be here so they could be like, "Oh, I love this song." You know what I mean? Because they'd pick up a guitar and just jam on easy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it would be really cool for them.
they could jam on hard. Your
All right.
parents.
Was it?
I mean,
What was that
by
about?
exacerbating. I was
I
exacerbating.
mean, there's a lot of Beatles songs that
But
I
they're
wanted
coming.
to be in there that are not in. Let It Be, Hey Jude, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Buffalo Bill.
But as of this moment, as I'm sitting here right now, I'm looking more forward to playing Guitar Hero 5 more than I am looking forward to playing Beatles Rock Band more.
Yeah. I'm the opposite.
You're the opposite.
Yeah, I'd rather go jam at my friend's house with Beatles songs than the stuff I didn't really know. I mean, there's some stuff on Rock Band or Guitar Hero too, but 5. So before we bid you adieu, we do want to thank our sponsors, such lovely sponsors as thesquarespace.com. Also, squarespace.com will redirect to thesquarespace.com. Squarespace is amazing web hosting. If you have any need for a website, check out squarespace.com. All of our respective sites are on squarespace.com. Many of them are multi-award-winning sites. Many by that I mean Jeff. His site.
Yeah, did you guys hear the latest about mine?
No.
You know, I've started talking about NFL stuff on my blog, jeffcanada.com, which is completely done on Squarespace.
Right.
And it turns out that they're offering me a honorary Heisman trophy.
Amazing!
Yeah, so, you know,
Jeff Kanata got a Heisman. Amazing.
Wow.
So if you would like to maybe
not
be in
me,
the
my
running
site.
for a Heisman,
because you got clear
your
eyes, full
site
heart.
needs to your site needs to be on Squarespace, and they have the best WYSIWYG editor you will ever see. I guarantee it. Head over to squarespace.com, and if you use the coupon code TRS when you check out, you will get 10% off the entire lifetime of your site. It's amazing.
And
Netflix. What?
they're back. Netflix is, of course, online renting.
Of course.
They have over 90,000 titles, most of the Blu-rays. I'd like to recommend, or we'd like to recommend, The Thing. Jeff brought it up.
good.
Talking about Whiteout.
It's good on
It's on
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray now.
Yeah.
It's on Blu-ray.
Amazing.
We all got together. We probably even talked about it on the show, and we all watched it together. And though it came out in &82,
totally holds up.
it totally holds up.
Reason number 847 why Kurt Russell is a badass.
Yep. And do stuff in snow.
Yes. So they also have a really cool feature, Watch Instantly, where on any form, if you have a PC, a Mac, on your Xbox, it's extremely well integrated. I'll tell you what, Watch Instantly, we were talking about the short film to film not being a good transition. Well, I brought up on the show many times, Raising Victor Vargas is a watch instantly, and you can go on YouTube and watch 5 Feet High and Rising to see the short film, which is amazing, and the feature film, one of the greatest films.
I could say District 9 would be one that I would say was a good short film that made
Right.
transition.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. A little different.
Public
but
service
not called
announcement
District
also,
9.
if you saw us
Now
last
there's
week
Raising Victor Vargas,
talking
right?
about
No, I'm just
Friday Night Lights, October 1st,
Yes.
it's removed from Watch Now, so it's a perfect time right now to sign up for Netflix,
interesting.
get your free trial, and watch
it
that
now.
show.
And I
Amazing.
am in the horse race to make it by that deadline.
You can do it.
So
Where's the site?
if you go to plans start as low as $4.99. If you go to netflix.com/TRS, but you got to put in those wwws because they're important.
Right. We're also pleased to be sponsored by GoDaddy.com. It is your place to go for all things web. You got your hosting, you got your domain names, you got your support, you got your software. It is crazy, and they support Revision 3 in such a big way that you can go to revision3.com/GoDaddy, find a whole bunch of different promo codes that will work to get yourself discounts on any service that they offer, and so yeah, take advantage.
Love it. Also, check out HD Nation when you're over there at revision3.com. Patrick and Roger are doing some amazing stuff. If you have any questions, how to mount your TV without mounting brackets.
How to mount your TV.
How to mount your TV.
Get over your TV.
You get a good TV and you want to mount it just to, claim it. Do all that stuff. So check out HD Nation over at Revision 3. Gentlemen, next week is a big week for us.
Oh,
I'm very
is it?
excited for
interesting.
what is to come. I would say maybe what dreams may come. But I did want to say before we left, thank you very much for my velvet picture
Our
of myself.
sincerest pleasure.
This episode, people may want to watch again. I'm only getting to this part, the first watch through. You may want to watch again because throughout all of the segments, I don't think I can take my eyes off of the painting that is
The haunting image of me.
I get lost in your eyes
Amazing.
over there, and through
And
half of what we're saying, I'm like,
Happy birthday, Mikey.
Yay!
First official TRS birthday, so enjoy the flux capacitor. Well, that is it for this week's edition of the Totally Rad Show. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
Jinx.com/TRS for clothes. I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Until next time, be well. He made an entire list of all the stuff that we talked about on TRS that he needs to put. Some of this.
Yeah.
The highlight. There's your assault on Precinct 13, and he means not the new one, the old
Number
one.
one was Big Trouble in Little China. That was the first
That
one.
was
Yeah, you haven't gotten very far on the list, but you're doing well.
All right, wide crotch. Let's see if we can do this.
Yeah, that's why I'm always. That's why I can't get close, Mike.
That's why I can't get
this
close
guy.
to Mike. Because all you just think about my crotch.
Because you're always presenting to me.
Outtakes.
Always a presentation.
If you're not a machine, we're in business.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yep. We're in business.
I cannot wait to put that in my office.
Is Heather home?
She will be.
Okay. Can we turn the air conditioning on for a second? I'm really.
Wait,
we gotta push out.
We're shooting.
We're jump cutting.
We're in the middle of it.
All right, sorry.
I'm just done with this segment. I'm gonna start.
I'm done.
Forget it. I'm turning on everything.
Nice. You might go in the kitchen and go to her room. Amazing.
Totally worth the wait.